Hey there! If you're looking for something with no structure, has no set parameters, and we're open to talk about anything and everything, well, you found the right place, audio, podcast. We're just about having fun and staying grounded while sometimes getting loud. And with that, welcome to Loud, Lucid, and Laughs. And welcome to another episode of Loud, Lucid, and Laughs. I'm your co-host, Doug Boyer, along with your other co-host.
I'm the other co-host, Rich James.
And we are bringing you episode 28. So we decided to kind of kick off March right. Next week we both got some things happening. So we decided, why don't we bring you a little bit of a St. Patrick's Day episode and talk a little bit about all the aspects of St. Patrick's Day. I see Rich is brandishing the Irish hoodie. Nice, looks nice. I got the little. Huh? Yeah.
What is that? What's that shirt say?
This is Ireland.
Ireland. What do you got behind you there on the wall?
Well, that there is some Irish sayings. We've got "May you live long as you want, and never want as long as you live." And of course,
Nice.
Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will.
It will go wrong.
And then everybody can't be Irish. Somebody has to drive. May your glass be full. When the Irish say drink responsibly, what they really mean is don't bleep and spill it.
If that ain't the truth. Doug, what's that hat you got on? That's a nice looking hat. I've got a patchwork hat like that kinda.
That's straight out of Ireland right there.
Nice.
Had that one for quite a long time. And of course,
I got this coffee mug, this Guinness coffee mug in it. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
What I made myself for this. Go ahead.
That's 12 years of Irish whiskey actually about 30 years old.
Oh, that's nice.
Where'd you get that at? We got some in there. I'll tip some out for you when you come to visit.
There's some in there?
Oh, yeah.
Take a shot.
Oh, no.
Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that at?
Last time I did that, my eyes watered for like 3 days straight.
Where did you get the...
Well, I would have to say that came from somewhere, but it was only one jar, well, maybe two. I don't know if it's legal to transport those out of country or not. It happened.
Came from?
Ireland.
Oh, when?
Well, I've had it. Oh gosh, I'd have to ask your mom, but I'm gonna say I've probably had it about 20 years. So, as Rich would say,
Slainte. I've had my Guinness mug for about 5 years. Doug, it's very important. My iPad went crooked again, but I'm just going to go with it now. It's settled into a spot, so I'm just going to lean in. But, so, do I look crooked to you?
No.
So it's very important, Doug, I don't know if you know this, but it is very important, the mug that you drink coffee out of. You're not a coffee drinker, I don't think, but it's a very important thing.
I'm a tea drinker.
The mug that you drink coffee out of is very important. So I drink out of my Guinness. Lovely day for a Guinness mug every day.
I believe that that mug has made it to a few episodes too.
It has. Sorry, Doug. I tilted like way bad, and I was like, I can't live with it. That might be happening like 27 times. I've got my pole with the iPad on it on a chair being held in by a rug, so it could all come crumbling down at any moment. I don't know, but
Well,
yeah.
there's an old joke to start this off, Rich. An Irishman walks out of a bar. Yeah.
That was me doing a drum roll. I couldn't hit the cymbal thing
Do-do-do.
because I'm too far away. But anyway,
So episode 28, St. Patrick's Day.
with Rich sideways, but
Is it moving again?
yeah, it just moved again. I'm just gonna leave it. At the end of this episode, Doug, it could be all the way sideways, and I'll just be like
you'll
this.
get up at some point.
It's really hurting my props because behind me I have the Killarney Brewing Company sign up here.
Yeah.
I've got my hurling stick, which is called a hurley. I've got the slitter that goes with it right here. I got my rugby ball, IRFU. Killer. So
there you go.
Like that. But anyway, look,
You got an Irish book?
You see that? It's the feckin' book of everything Irish.
Yeah.
We can talk about some of those, some of the things that are in that in a little bit, but
check this one out.
I got a nice cold Guinness here, Doug, as a prop, but I might drink it in a minute. There's the family name.
Yeah,
it's kind of blurry because it was like in the sunlight, but yeah, Lynch, the family name.
Aye.
Yes.
So, St. Patrick's Day, or St. Paddy's Day, which you're allowed to call, and that's Paddy as in Paddy, not to be.
We talked about that a year ago or 2 years ago. Yeah, Paddy,
yeah.
Paddy, Paddy, not Patty.
Yeah, and the reason why is because Paddy was the nickname for the original Irish name, which was Padrig, which translated into Patrick. So
exactly.
Little tidbit of info there for you. And while Rich adjusts his viewing ability
for the 17th time.
So St. Patrick's Day was originally a religious observation in Ireland.
But are you drinking?
I showed you the whiskey, didn't I?
Yeah, but you said you weren't drinking that whiskey.
No. But it evolved into a secular celebration of Irish culture, particularly in the United States, which was brought over by a lot of the immigrants.
I bet.
And we celebrate it on March 17th, which is the day that St. Patrick actually passed away. I thought that was interesting. Dude was born in like 385 and passed away in 461.
Yeah. And he was, from Scotland, right? But he's the one that brought Christianity to Ireland. And so that's why we have a St. Patrick's Day, because the Irish people and the people of the Irish descent of the Catholic Church, the feast day of St. Patrick, commemoration of the arrival of Christianity in Ireland. Yeah. Every March 17th, Doug. Doug, you know what I thought was interesting that I looked up earlier?
What's that?
What countries celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, you know what? I did a looky-loo too. A looky-look.
Did you do some research?
I did some looky-look.
Looky-look?
Not to be confused.
Is that your new term?
Not to be confused with research.
Did I tell you that I made an Irish coffee tonight, just not a regular coffee?
No, you didn't.
Because most of the time I'm drinking just regular coffee when you're seeing this cup on the podcast. But tonight I'm drinking a little Irish coffee, a little Tulla Mordu, Doug. Tulla Mordu, coffee. some whipped cream. Yep. Some whiskey right there.
Well, before we jump too far into St. Patrick himself, Irish law declared St. Patrick's Day a religious observance in 1903. And up until the 70s, which I didn't know this, all the pubs were closed in Ireland on that day. None
Yeah.
of them were open until the 70s. I mean, that's like 67 years of not letting the Irish drink on a day. And
Crazy.
in 95.
Hey, they were Catholics. Doug,
Yeah.
they were Catholics. You'd think
Right.
they would have been, come on.
Well, and in 1995, the Irish government actually started a national campaign and made St. Patrick's Day like a national thing to help drive a lot of tourism into Ireland and bring visitors.
Yeah.
And of course, we know today it's a day of drinking, feasting, parades, music, you name it, and a bunch of people running around looking like leprechauns. Which I'm not sure where that one came in at. But
I don't know, because the last time, Doug, the last time I was in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, I didn't get to involve myself in any of the St. Patrick's Day festivities because there was a certain thing going on that day.
oh, that would have been in
I'll tell you.
2023.
I'll go ahead and give you a hint. It would have been 2 years ago from this St. Patrick's Day, and we didn't get to go to any of the parades in town or festivals or anything going on for St. Patrick's Day because there was something else that got us drug away from that.
Well, if I recall, there was a certain dude that set up something at the Cliffs of Moher, and he got in touch with officials there, got some space set up, and he brought this loving couple over, and he married them right there at the Cliffs of Moher, March 17th, 2023. And then we all went and celebrated. And you did have a celebration that day because you talked me into going to one of the local pubs.
We went to the Pike. You better Uncle Jerry. Went to the Pike. I had to drag Uncle Jerry. Doug, that's a funny story because I'm calling. So I had Steven and Mom in the car and stuff, and so cousin Steven and I call Uncle Jerry, or I'm texting him on the way, whatever. So I think I'm texting him. I'm like,
shout
Uncle
out
Jerry.
to cousin Steven. Best man.
Steven. And so always there for you. He's out every time. I just talked to him yesterday because we were watching rugby and watching hurling, watching Limerick, and watching rugby for Ireland. We took our first loss yesterday in the Six Nations. That's another story. But yeah, I call Uncle Jerry up, and I'm like, Uncle Jerry, you haven't seen Doug in a while. We just got married up there at Cliffs of Moher. We just had lunch, and now we're gonna be driving back towards Athlone where we were staying and all that. And I said, hey, you want to meet at the Pike or something, get a beer, get a Guinness or something. And he was like, oh, Richie, I've had a hard day. I don't know if I can get out, Richie. He's texting me back. He's like, oh, Richie, you're killing me right now, and he's like acting like it was going to be like a little bit of a ordeal to get to the Pike that he lives like 2 miles from or whatever. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
2 kilometers, maybe 2 kilometers. It's probably walking distance. But anyway, so he's like, all right, Richie, give me about 30 minutes. I'll be down there about 30 minutes. I said, well, that's about the time we'll be hitting there. So I was like, go ahead and just meet us down there. We'll have a drink. So we get there, right? And I hadn't told you yet that Uncle Jerry was going to be coming,
right?
And Aunt Mary, and so we're waiting, and we had a drink, and then you brought in the papers so we could sign the wedding papers there at the Pike. And the Pike, I've been going to the Pike for for all the years I've been over there. That's kind of a little local bar that's been around there for a while that our family goes to. I took Ryan there in 2018, and there was like 40 of us in there, Doug, and it was all family mostly. And Ryan's like, Dad, I just don't understand. We've been jet lagged. We had to go from Denver to Toronto and Toronto to Ireland. We hadn't slept hardly at all, and we went straight to the pub that night and hung out with 40 of our family members. And Ryan's like, Dad, I just got a question for you. I was like, yeah, what's that, son? He's like, if we're going to fight anybody in here tonight, like if we get really pissed drunk and we're going to fight anybody here tonight, who would we fight? And I was like, well, you fight your family, son. That's what the Irish do. Later that night, he gave me a black eye, but we won't talk about that right now because I'm telling this other story about Uncle Jerry.
Well,
Doug, do I look sideways?
Banned? Didn't they put a ban on him for
Doug,
like 10 years?
Because the iPad's went this way now. So do I look sideways to you?
It does look a little crooked now. Not gonna lie.
I'm trying to lean with it.
It's like that's okay. It's perfect for a St. Patty's Day podcast.
Let me finish telling the Uncle Jerry story. I went off on a tangent on the other story, another Pike story. But so there's Pike in Foley's bar that we've hung out with in that area. The family has. Well, you don't probably remember it, but Foley's is right next to the Pike. And when we were kids, the first time we went over to Ireland, we were inside Foley's, and it was past the time that you were supposed to be in there, and the guardian came and knocked on the door, and we all just turned off the lights and we hid. They were letting us drink orange sodas, and we were drinking orange sodas, hanging out, and but that's another story anyway. But let me talk about the Uncle Jerry story. So it's your wedding day. I tell Uncle Jerry to meet us. Uncle Jerry, meet us at Pike. And he's like, all right, Richie, you're killing me, but I've had a long day, Richie. I'll be there. I'm going to be there. I'll be there. So we sit in there, and you don't know why we're there because I hadn't told you that Uncle Jerry's coming. And so we're in there hanging out. And then a few minutes later, Uncle Jerry walks in. But before Uncle Jerry walked in, let me tell you what happened. I went up to get me and Steven a Guinness, and I think you guys are drinking. I don't know. Mom was drinking. I might have bought you something, and I went up to get a few drinks. And I go up and I talk to, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Her name is her name started with an I. I've seen her a million times. She grew up with Mom. Like she went to school with her. When her dad died, he gave her the Pike, the ownership, and then she passed away a couple years ago. God bless her soul. Oh. And I feel so bad right now. If any of our Irish family is watching and they're going to watch this, and I don't remember her name, I know it starts with an I. And gosh, I can't. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, I go up there and I tell her, I say, oh, hey. She's like, hey, Rich, how's it going? And I was like, oh, my brother got married today. We married him at the Cliffs of Moher, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I just talked to my Uncle Jerry. He's supposed to come down for a drink with us. And I said, it sounded like it was a little hard getting him out. He said he's had a rough day. She's like, oh, yeah, he just left here an hour ago. What?
He already had his drink for the day. Yeah, he already had his drink. He didn't.
He was acting like it was going to be so hard to get out. You know, and he just left an hour ago. Crazy. But
he probably had another drink at the house and didn't want to have to not finish that one.
No, he'd already had too many drinks at the Pike, so that was the problem. He didn't want to leave the house.
It was a good day, though. It was a good day.
It was a good day. Well, then we went to Brown Joe's. That was St. Patty's Day. In Clover,
that was in
I was just
Atay.
listening to Clover in the
little
truck.
Town of Atay.
I've got the CD for.
In a little town of Atay.
Athlone. No, Athlone's up where Sanspar is.
No, we were in Atay.
We were at that place. So, that was a good little town. Like, there was Dick White's bar, and then there was Brown Joe's. I'm not making that up. Dick White's and Brown Joe's. And, I went into Dick White's that first night.
In a town about this big.
And I went into Dick White's that first night, Doug. And then, they're 2 days later, they're talking about me at Brown Joe's. And they're like, oh, you're the guy from Colorado. Yeah, we heard about you at Dick White's. I'm like, I've only been in there one time.
Go watch that bloke from America up there.
Good times.
Yeah.
But Yeah, no, that was a good St. Patrick's Day. Even though we didn't get to see any of the our only time in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, and we didn't get to see any of the parades or festivities. But
you know what? That just gives you a reason to go back. But I did. I got married.
You got married. Well, I go back all the time. I just don't ever go on St. Paddy's Day.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a reason to go back on St. Patrick's Day. So, there you have it. But you asked me a question earlier, and then we went off on that rabbit hunt.
While you're telling me the answer to the question I asked you, I'm going to open up my prop.
Yes. You said, how many countries celebrate St. Paddy's Day?
Oh, boy.
Whoa! You just pulled a Justin G.
Close. Oh, dude, you know what happened? Is those have those little whistlers in them. They're supposed to catch all that. All right, go ahead.
Folks, we can't make this up. So, more than 200 different countries and numerous cities have notable celebrations. Just to answer your question. And I can dig in a little bit here, Rich, with this. People in Ireland have celebrated St. Patrick since the 1600s. But parades in America were the actual recorded first St. Patrick's Day celebrations, and that was in March 17th of 1601, which was a Spanish colony in St. Augustine, Florida. They were the first ones to actually have a recorded parade. Nice. And then, of course, it headed into Boston, headed into New York City, and several cities from there.
You know, it's always... Who?
Oh, New York City and several cities from there. But just to tap a little bit, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Japan actually celebrates. They've got one of the largest celebrations. They have musical performances.
To celebrate St. Patrick's Day, the first one that popped up was Japan, and I'm like, Japan?
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't know that.
You get this, Doug. Get this, Doug. The second one that popped up, United Kingdom.
Right. and then I had, I guess, Buenos Aires is one of South America's largest in Argentina. A Caribbean island. The only place outside of Ireland where St. Patrick's Day is actually a national holiday. And I'm going to butcher this, but I believe that the island was called Montserrat.
Yes,
Germany.
That's right. I've got it.
Munich hosts one of the largest celebrations. Rio de Janeiro, Dubai.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Seoul. I mean, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then, of course, the United States, which, like I just mentioned,
you said Montserrat. You said Montserrat was the only country that celebrates it outside as a national holiday.
Right?
Yeah.
But in the United States, tons of cities have it. But New York City is the oldest and largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world. And it was first held March 17th, 1762. That's 14 years before we signed the Declaration of Independence.
Kind of started to be funny for me. I won't do this again. I'll have the mic stand on the ground level instead of having it in a chair with a carpet and paper towels holding it up. But anyway,
I need a picture. I need you to take a picture with your phone of what it looks like, because I'm going to have to see that at some point.
I'll take one right now.
But Chicago, Philadelphia, Savannah, Boston, a lot of the others have some huge celebrations. St. Louis has a pretty good sized one.
Doug, can you see it on the podcast, maybe? I got a rug there and some paper towels underneath.
Good heavens.
The three the three stands are hanging off to the side.
Yeah, I see that.
I just wanted to sit, Doug. I felt like I had to sit in a bar stool that I'm sitting in right now for my pool table here. I felt like I had to sit in a bar stool for, for this one,
right?
for St. Paddy's Day. Well, so you said St. Louis. So let me tell you, Doug, I've had plenty, of St. Louis, being from St. Louis. I've had plenty of St. Louis parades that I've went to, Dogtown parades that I've went to. I just got done telling my friend, Justin, and
The
I
original
tell a
G,
story that
the OG.
original G, but it's so funny because Dogtown's always been a good time. One time they had a mare from like Cork there, and I was talking to her in the back outside beer garden patio place, and I'm talking to her. I think on that particular one, Mom had came up to Dogtown. I was in the parade. I was on a float, and I threw Mom a bunch of candy and beads and stuff, and I don't know why I threw her beads. anyway, anyway, she was asking for beads. I don't know, dude. I'm just like,
This just went off the rails.
So like I threw Mom a bunch of candy. I ran off the boat real quick and gave it to her, and then got back on the float. It was a boat float. I don't know. But anyway, long story.
How much have you been drinking?
Party throughout the. No, that was just my second one. I mean, this is my first one of these, but anyway, so we were hanging out in Dogtown. I was hanging out most of the day in Dogtown, and we had gone to a bar. I'm no longer with Mom and her crew at this time, but gosh, I gotta look it up. It's Seamus McDaniels, I think. Seamus Dogtown.
Seamus McDaniels.
Bar, Irish.
That is one up there.
Irish.
Downtown St. Louis.
In St. Louis. Huh?
That is one. There's.
But yeah, so I'm talking to the mayor of Cork. Yeah, Seamus McDaniels. Yeah, we're at Seamus McDaniels, and I've went there many times. I don't know why I couldn't remember that name, but we were hanging out there, and at the same time, not too long before that, I'd hung out at O.B. Clark's, the bar in Brentwood, St. Louis, there, with a bunch of the St. Louis Blues hockey players like Keith Chuck, Chris Pronger, a bunch of the guys that played on the team in that period. And we'd go there and have pizza and beer after games and stuff. And this particular St. Patrick's Day, though, I'm talking to the mayor of Cork, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I leave and I come back out, and Keith and Chuck, probably wouldn't like me telling this story, but both of his sons play in the National Hockey League now. He played for the Blues at the time, and he's standing there in front of this big trash can, those big gray trash cans that are just full with empty beer cans, and he's looking like he's not gonna, he's looking like he's gonna chuck in the, Keith Chuck is gonna chuck in the trash can, and so he's sitting there at St. Patrick's Day. Everybody drank too much, and so I'm like, "Hey, Keith," and he's like, "Hey, man." He's like, "You go to O.B. Clark's with us, right?" And I was like, "It's Rich," because he knew my name, like he met me 100 times. He's like so drunk. He's like, "Hey, you ain't gonna O.B. Clark's with us, right?" I'm like, "Keith, it's Rich." He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And so we're sitting there, and I'm like, "Keith, you okay?" And he was like, "I need a piss." And I'm like, "Yeah, Keith, don't go in the trash can." I thought he was gonna throw up in the trash can, but I think he just needed to pee. So I was like, "The bathroom's right down this hallway." He was like, "All right." He's like, "Show me down there." And so I took him down there, and he peed. And then he comes back out, and he looks like he's going to hurl again in the trash can. He goes back to the trash can, sitting there. I'm like, "Keith, are you all right? You need a ride home? You need a cab? You need something?" He's like, "No, let's get another Guinness." So we went up to the bar, got another Guinness. But, Dogtown, love it. Little Dogtown St. Louis story there for you with Keith.
Little St. Louis Dogtown. So, one of the things, I looked at a lot of different traditions.
You did a lot of looky-lookies?
I did a lot of looky-lookies, and I found out, the tradition of wearing the green started around the 18th century, But St. Patrick himself always wore blue, and all his robes were blue. They actually weren't green. They think that it basically was because he had a shamrock on him, which had the green in it, and that just exploded with your parades and your Irish music, the food, dancing. So a lot of people think the green represents, of course, the the landscape in Ireland. And I mean, I was telling someone this the other day that when we left the Cliffs of Moher and we were driving on the little bitty gravel roads and we went up to one way up on top of the hill, and as you look down the hill, there was like 30 different shades of green all the way down the hill. And I know there's an actual saying like 100 shades of green or something like that for Ireland. But that's part of the reason. And of course, again, like I said, the shamrock, um, the whole pinch folklore. A popular legend states that when wearing green, it makes you invisible to the leprechauns, who are said to pinch you for not wearing the color. So apparently, that's where that whole pinch thing came from.
That yeah. See, I always wondered about that one. Like, when we were going, when we were growing up and we're school and all that, I'm like, I don't have to wear green. I'm Irish. I am
I
Irish.
used to say
I
the
am green.
same thing. Somebody come up and like, you're not wearing green. I'm Irish. It's in my body. But another thing, and several people don't know this, and this is something my wife came to find out also, was one of her biggest things that she was excited when we went to Ireland in 23 was she wanted to have some corned beef and cabbage. And
Corned beef and
she found out that that was an actual American meal, something that was created here in America.
Well,
Um,
Doug,
it
Mom was cooking cabbage every Saturday at our house.
Oh, I know. I can't. That smell won't go away. But in Ireland, it used to be ham and cabbage that was eaten mostly. Um, the corned beef was used here in America because it was a cheaper substitute for most of the impoverished immigrants that came over. And in the lower parts of Manhattan, people would buy the leftover corned beef from ships returning from the tea trades from China. And that's kind of where
Yeah.
it all developed here in America. So it's not an Irish meal. As a matter of fact, I believe the most Irish meal is your Irish stew.
That's
So
the
that
funny
was
thing
kind of
because
interesting.
I always say that's what I always like to do. I like to do a good Guinness Irish beef stew with Guinness. Not just drinking Guinness while you're making it, but Guinness and the beef
But
stew.
so do you like drink a little, pour a little, drink a little, pour a little, or
Yes,
is that like those?
it's kind of like grilling.
It's like grilling or like the wine shows that you see.
Right, exactly. Doug, I've decided to just leave my camera sideways. I like the fact that you keep going.
I feel like
When you post this, you can be like, Fritz was a little inebriated during the
yeah,
podcast for the St. Patrick's Day podcast, and he was a little sideways the whole time.
yeah. The thing is, I'm not even drinking, but I feel like you're in one of those Ripley's Believe It or Not rooms where you like.
You can tell the
Oh,
door because the door behind me. See, I
I
should be
know
sitting like this.
that's what keeps giving me the visual. Is I see the door.
That's why I'm trying to lean in, but the
It
door is messed up.
looks,
So I should be like this right here.
yeah.
But then that makes my other
Uh,
stuff like not look right. Should I just stay like this the whole time the rest of
I don't know, but I'm just gonna tell anybody that does decide to watch this that please watch it sober. Don't watch this while drinking.
the way?
It's,
Doug,
it may not go well.
Did we mention that St. Patrick was born Maewyn Suchet.
No, but you did bring up the
Did you say
fact
that
that he
earlier?
was not born in Ireland, and
He was
yes,
Roman Briton
his
in the late 4th century, but basically born in Scotland, where that I guess the Romans had that part at that time. And at age 16, he was kidnapped by the Irish Raiders and taken to Ireland as a slave. Did you mention that earlier?
no, I hadn't gotten in.
And then,
I
yeah.
have that all in front of me, but I had not gotten into his
So after
story yet.
escaping, after escaping, he returned to Ireland to convert the pagan Irish to Christianity.
Well,
And he's
he
credited with
escaped
popularizing the shamrock.
when
Yeah. And
when he escaped.
he's
He
credited with
escaped
popularizing.
when he escaped. He escaped to a monastery, and that's where his
Right.
belief system kicked in, and he became a priest.
But
And then he came back.
exactly. And he's credited with popularizing the shamrock as the Irish symbol, but he used that symbol to explain the Trinity.
Yes.
You know,
and that's where the wearing of the green came from. Because even though mostly he wore blue robes, for St. Patrick's Day, everybody wears green. And a lot of people say that that came from the shamrock that he represented. You know, see?
Yes.
Okay. That so I kind of did a little
And
looky look.
you mentioned that makes you invisible to leprechauns, right?
Right, wearing of the green. So
Yes.
I did a little looky look, and one of the popular things is that he was the one who ran the snakes out of Ireland, and
Yes.
a lot of your you're just setting it on the desk now.
This is the most unprofessional podcast.
Oh, you almost knocked your Guinness over. Hey, there you go. I can see you well. That works too.
Yeah, I'm just getting sick of it moving.
So they say the banishing of the snakes was a metaphorical issue, I guess you would say. Basically, they're saying that was his help in the eradication of paganism from Ireland and converting people to Christianity. And that's where the whole um, banishing the snakes, because Ireland has never apparently had a single snake on its land.
See that pin?
Is that your work pin?
No, that's it. That's right. That's the total story about why there's no snakes over there. Yeah. So tell me your favorite. I know we just said we're going to talk about St. Patrick's Day tonight. Blah blah blah. Go ahead. You had something else on that?
Well, I was just going to say that you mentioned his real name, um, Maewyn. But he was renamed Paticus after becoming a priest, and then he actually changed it to Patrick when he got back to Ireland. And
yeah.
Fun fact, nobody knows where he's buried at. Several different sites claim that this is where he's buried, but there is no actual official he's buried right here. So I learned a lot about St. Patrick, which was kind of cool. But you were going to ask something?
Tell me your favorite. Tell me your favorite St. Patrick's Day that you can remember. Like, do you normally go out on St. Patrick's Day? I don't even know.
I mean, we started a tradition years ago of going to a local St. Patrick's Day pub and spending time together with different people. And over the years, have done that with different people, and it's something that I've continued to do. And matter of fact, we're going this Saturday with your mother, and I've been taking her out to St. Patrick's Day now for, I don't know, probably the last 7 or 8 years. Been doing that, and to me, that's the new thing now. Every year, you go to a real Irish pub. Well, in the United States, that is. And we spend a little time together and have a good meal and go hang out, check out some things that are happening. You never know where you might end up. Might be a casino, and might just be down on the landing in Cave. Could be up in St. Louis. And for the most part, not that this is any shout out or anything, but Katie Farrell's in Cape Girardeau is one that we've gone to multiple times and continue to go to. But probably my most favorite would have been 2 years ago. Actually getting to
2 years
celebrate
ago.
for the first time in my life St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. Even though we didn't get parades,
With a lot of family at Brown
a
Joe's.
lot of family at Brown Joe's.
They threw you a little celebration.
Yes, they did. And
Thanks
I
to
will say that
Louise
the
and
cakes in Ireland are a little different.
yeah.
But it was great to be
They
around family and celebrate, and had a live band that played at what time, 9ish?
Well, Clover, I was
something
just
like that.
yeah, the band Clover. I was just listening to them in my truck this past week. I had their CD in.
Yes, good band, very good band. I have their CD also.
Yeah.
So
It was funny because me and Uncle Christy waited till like it was just a couple nights before, because I think I went to Brown Joe's every night the week that we stayed there.
yes, you did. Well, except for
and-
when you went to Dick
yeah.
White's.
And there's no reason to judge, Doug. I mean, but I became a big. I mean, like I was well known at Dick White's, but I would have liked to call it Richard White's, but yeah, I don't own the bar, but
Yeah.
But so the funny thing is we one of the nights after you left, and me and Uncle Christy were still there. That's when we went and told them a few nights before that we were going to have that whole, because Louise and somebody else had, were making you banners and getting everybody together in a little celebration. But me and Uncle Chris, we were up there, and we told him, Uncle Chris is like, hey, we want this whole side of the bar for St. Patrick's Night, which couldn't do that in the States on a St. Patrick's Day because there's too many people there, But we were able to secure that side for the family, and then we got the food thing going too. That we had the food and stuff and the little appetizers and stuff.
What would you say? Probably about 60 people shoved into that little bitty bar, and half of them was us.
Oh, yeah, we probably had at least 30 in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was it was good. I got a little languid that night.
What?
Doug, you know what languid is?
No.
Languid, out of the Irish dictionary. Langered. Languid. It means drunk.
So
a lot of
what's one of your favorite St. Patty's Day?
My favorite St. Patrick's Days?
Yeah.
Well, that was a good one too. Being over actually in Ireland St. Patrick's Day, and I got to marry you. I mean, I performed the ceremony.
Whoa.
Yeah. I performed the ceremony of you being married.
Yes.
So
at the Cliffs of Moher.
I was the minister, and no, that was a good one. That was nice. It was a good one. It was good to be with family on St. Patrick's Day, and I don't even know if I really was realizing it was St. Patrick's Day. Because there for years and years and years I would go out on St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of those were my best ones, but I don't remember them at all. But then,
because you got languid.
Then I got this thing in me for like about 10 years, Doug, where I was like, I didn't go out on St. Patrick's Day because I was like, I'm Irish. I don't need to go out on St. Patrick's Day. It's just not a thing. Like I felt I got a little uppity on St. Patrick's Day. Decided I'm drinking 364 days of the year anyway. I don't need to drink on that day. You know what I'm saying?
What's so special about it?
What's so special about that day? There was like 10 years of my life that I was like that. That I was like, I don't drink green beer. You know, that's just foolish. And I don't go out on St. Patrick's Day. And then, you know, but probably my best one was, you know, one I don't remember. I don't remember.
Probably one you don't remember. I
Yeah,
would
so I couldn't even tell
say
you about it because I
that was
don't
my
remember.
best one, and I would tell you all about it, but I just don't remember it.
I probably called you later, bro.
You probably did
Said, can you
for
get
bail
me
money.
out? The bail money's only 1,100.
Hey, can you come get me?
I don't
So
know, man. I think
do you
anytime
have
you ever
big
got,
plans for this St. Patty's Day?
you know, so actually this week, this next weekend, um, I actually took off on St. Patty's Day because it falls on a Monday. And Steph's always off on Monday, so I actually took off to hang out with her and maybe do some things. They've got Jack Quinn's our biggest Irish bar here is playing music all day and all that. They're having a big parade Saturday downtown in Colorado Springs, and then they're also doing music and stuff like that on that Friday night, Saturday. So you know, a lot of the Irish pubs, Doug, make their make 3 months of their money here in the States um, on St. Patrick's Day because it's
Yeah.
always so busy and so crazy. So yeah, this year I'm actually gonna do probably a few things. I don't know. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Um, you know, where I wouldn't remember it and be able to tell you. But well, I don't know. Ask me the next podcast. Maybe I will.
Yeah, we'll circle back around on that one.
Steph did buy me a nice sweatshirt that I'm going to be wearing on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, I like the one you're
I think I
wearing
sent you a
now.
picture of it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, it is
She
sweet.
doesn't like this one. She doesn't like this one. But um, but yeah, I've had a lot of good ones, a lot of good St. Patrick's days, and I just enjoy the day because you know you just feel even though it's America, you know you're celebrating America, but you feel all things Irish on that day,
Oh yeah.
and you know we laugh about that, but there's so many people. I've always, you know, I've told Steph for years. One of the bars here in town just closed in Monument, and I want to open it up as a little Irish pub and call it Finn and Clancy's. You know, after my dogs,
Ah.
and yeah, Finn and Clancy's Irish Pub, and put like instead of a Shamrock, I think I told you this before, but instead of a Shamrock, I want to put. So I want to have like Finn's name, you know, in green, and then Clancy's name in orange, and I want to throw in the middle. I want to throw the white with just an Irish dog, like the dog, just a dog paw, the four prints of a dog
Oh,
paw, like instead of a
nice.
Shamrock. So it's Finn and Clancy's Irish Pub with the dog paw in the middle. So you can have your dogs there and everything else and blah blah blah. But um, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but anyway, I want that's my thing. I want to do an Irish pub. I've always
That
wanted
would
to do
be
an Irish
cool.
pub. Um, you know, like when our Aunt Molly died, I was thinking we could have all got together, joined some money, and I wanted to like maybe do like Molly O'Connor's. What better name of an Irish bar than Molly O'Connor's? You know,
Molly O'Connor.
or just Molly. We could have had Molly's Place. There's a lot of
Yeah.
but we could have had like just
Auntie
Molly's or you
Malls.
know just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that would have been
A
a
lot of
good
cool
thing to
names
do.
there. But yeah, I've always wanted to do. For like about 5 years now since I've had my dogs for so about 5 years that I've always wanted to do Finn Clancy's Irish Pub. Yeah.
That would be
So
cool. That would be neat.
yeah, I would.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got the same thing this year. We're, of course, it just wouldn't be St. Patrick's Day without Mom. I get to celebrate with her.
What?
So
What happened to Mom? What happened to Mom, bro?
I,
What's going on? What are you talking about? Without
I
her?
said
Why'd you
I
say
get to
without her?
celebrate with
Did something
her.
happen? Did something happen, Doug?
So it's
Should I
her.
call her? Do I need to call Mom?
She no, because she won't answer. So now if I call her, she'll
Why would
answer.
she answer? I
But
called her earlier today, and she answered.
her, Howie, Gina, and I are gonna head to Katie O'Farrell's in Cape Girardeau, and
Hello.
make a day of it.
Hey, Doug, can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Hey, can you hear her?
Yeah.
Mom, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Me and Doug are shooting the podcast right now, and we're in the middle of the podcast, and he said, you know, it wouldn't be a St. Patrick's Day without Mom. And I was like, what? What happened to Mom? Where's Mom at? Is Mom okay? I just wanted to make sure you're okay, Mom.
He took it completely wrong.
Okay.
I think you, son.
He had me scared for a minute, Mom, and I just wanted to make
Oh,
sure. Just say,
wow.
say I'm okay. I'm on the. You're on the podcast right now, Mom.
I know.
No.
But I'm okay, Rich. And guess what?
What?
Now you're my favorite. You're my favorite because you checked on me.
I can hear that, Mom.
I love my boy.
Doug can hear that, but thank you, Mom.
Oh, sorry.
That's probably
so
the
not
second
cool.
best thing you've ever done for me in my life. Just tell me that right there.
Oh, I love you, son.
It's the second best thing.
Hey, wait a minute. Who was with you during all that time in Tennessee? Mom, right? Mom's
Sure.
always been there for you, buddy.
Yeah, neither of my brothers came during that hard time.
Hello.
They had to work.
I went to saw you plenty times in Tennessee, and I even moved you out to Colorado.
Ooh, yeah.
You didn't move me out to Colorado. You moved the lady out.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a good brother. You got a good brother.
Wait, Doug, can you hear Mom?
You got a good brother.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, she says I'm the best brother.
No, she just said I had a good
Doug,
brother.
Hey, Doug, why are you calling me?
Because I'm your favorite son calling you.
He thinks
I
you'll.
know that, but
He thinks you'll hang up. He thinks you'll hang up if I call you.
no.
You know, if he calls you after, he thinks.
I talked to you twice today, Rich.
Right? Because I'm the good.
I talked to Doug once all week.
Right, because I'm the good son.
Don't even go there.
Well, anyway, Mom, we got to get
Yeah,
back
you
to this
heard her.
podcast.
Don't go
I was
there.
just a little worried about you because Doug's like, it wouldn't be a St. Patrick's Day without Mom, and I'm like, what?
Well,
what happened to Mom? I'm
but
calling right
the
now.
whole thing is you wouldn't know that because you don't spend St. Patrick's Day with her. I do.
What, Doug?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's a fine thing. It's a fine thing that my boys think of me on this day. I God bless them and wish them the best. It's a great day to be in Ireland. I love you guys.
All right, love you, Mom. I'm just glad you're
Mom.
alive. I was scared for a moment. Doug had me worried.
Okay, love you.
All right, love you, Mom. Bye. Dude, she's good.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were saying.
It's because you never listen, like we talked about today. Hey, Mom.
You call me back. You love me too.
Well,
What?
you know, it's your favorite son, your number one son calling you.
Yeah, one fellow's driving.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the one that takes you everywhere. Yeah, I was just trying to tell Rich that, you know, St. Patrick's Day wouldn't be the same if I didn't have you with me. And he kind of tried to take that like he was the cooler one and he would call you because I guess he wanted you to pass away or something. I don't know.
Hey, Mom, while you're on the phone with Doug, I got a question for you. Because I'm saying this to Doug right now. Do you know what poigmohoid means?
Wait, Rich has a question.
Ask for Doug.
Do you know what
Mom, do you know what poigmohoid means?
poigmohoid means?
What means?
Poigmohoid.
Poigmohoid. Yeah, it means kiss my arse.
She knew. She just said she didn't want to say it on the air.
Did she really?
Yeah. She's like, I know, but I don't want to say it on the air.
Hang on.
So,
yeah,
Rich,
she's a bang on,
your
Doug.
son just told you to kiss his arse.
I know, fuck my tongue.
No, I was
Fuck
telling
my tongue.
you that, Doug.
Wow, I can't believe he would say that to you, Mom. I'm sorry.
And I wouldn't even say it.
No,
I'll make it up for
she's
you.
a bang on,
I'll make
Doug.
it up for you on Saturday.
All right, boys.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Bye. I can't believe you'd say that to her. Anyway, St. Patrick's Day. You got a closing little statement there? You got something you're pulling out of your book, or
Oh, no, Doug, you go ahead.
are you just in your deep thought?
You were saying. I was just gonna read something, but you go ahead and
No, I was just going to throw in the closing remarks because we're, about.
Oh, are we done?
Well, we're about 5 minutes away from that hour mark, so we're kind of in the
Oh
closing
boy.
here.
Hey, there's no sense in bullying, Doug.
I have one of those too. It's actually I should
Do
have
you
dug
really?
mine out. Mine had the whole feckin' bush about Irish book about Irish that you can read on the toilet or something like that, and I used to keep it in there.
Ah, yeah, she has a face like a smacked arse.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Hey, but you know what? I will say this: the Irish have some great pub songs.
you're
There's a
right,
lot of singing that goes on in Irish pubs.
Doug. I should have done a song tonight then.
Yeah, you should have. Maybe you can just do one of
What, do you,
those on
what
your
would you
own
want to
and
hear?
post it. Wouldn't that be
What do you
cool?
want to hear?
Do you know how to do
What?
that? Do you know how to post your own little
What's that?
video? You can record yourself singing an Irish song and then post it on our Facebook and on our
A loud, loose, and laughs.
X. Yeah, and you could even load it up to our YouTube and our Spotify. A little short for people to watch. That'd be cool.
A little short. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
But hey, thanks for watching our podcast on St. Patrick's Day. We'll have this one out probably right around that time, maybe the day or
Well, I'll
two
put it
before.
out on March 17th, top of the morning to you. We'll put it
Top of
out
the
at 6
morning.
a.m. on March 17th, top of the morning to you. No.
All right. Well,
I mean, if you want to.
I'll see if I can pull that off. And
Doug, did you know that in the feckin' book of everything Irish, if you say, "How's the talent?" You know what that means?
no,
Are there any attractive females / males present? You know, it depends if you're a girl or a guy. But if we're guys talking in the bar, we walk into a pub and we go, "How's the talent?" We're asking if there's any attractive females.
out of that whole
Okay.
book, that's the thing you picked out.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that a bad
That's the
thing?
one thing you picked out of that whole book.
There's a lot of stuff in here, bro.
All right.
Confession, Doug. You know what confession is? The back door through which we could escape our guilt, especially about sex, as we fall hopelessly into the jaws of passion, aware of the inevitability of mortal sin. We comfort ourselves with the thought of tomorrow. We would go to confession, say our three fathers and three Hail Marys. I don't
And that's literally the
know, but hey.
second thing you pick out of the book. First, you talk about what the women
Well,
look
yeah,
like,
I should put
and then you're talking about sex.
dude. I should put the book down. You know,
You should put the book down. And Rich,
that was thick, Doug. That was thick. Of me.
Slainte.
You know what thick means?
Oh, you're gonna leave me hanging?
Thick in Irish dictionary, Doug, means extremely stupid. That was thick of me, Slainte.
Yes, Slainte.
All my props are coming down.
And with that, we're gonna
Doug,
close this one out. We're done.
Doug, wait. You know what this is called? I told you at the beginning. Do you know what it's called?
It's a hurling stick.
So it's called
So
a hurley.
it's called a hurley.
Yes.
Look at that, I did learn something. All right, folks, we
I'm gonna do that,
appreciate
Doug.
you.
Doug, is there any song you would like to hear, though? Any Irish song that you would like to hear that I'm gonna post? I'm gonna do it for you, Doug. I'm gonna
I
play
might
a
have to get
song.
back to you on that. I mean, one of my
You can't.
favorites is Molly Malone.
Like, wait. What I'm thinking right now is you can't come up with an Irish song off the top of your head.
Well, I just said one of my favorites is Molly Malone.
I love that song.
As she wheels her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying
What key would you like that?
cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
You know what, bro?
What?
That is on my playlist, the Dubliners version.
Oh, nice.
Can you see it, or is it?
Yep, I see it. I can see it.
All right.
It's a good song.
You want me to do that one?
There you go.
In Dublin's fair city. All right, I'm on
The
it.
girls are so pretty.
Doug, you didn't, did you get to go to, you didn't get to go to Dublin last time, did you?
No, that would be my next shot when I go over.
Because there's a Molly Malone statue there. So, like, sometimes if you want to meet somebody in Dublin, you can say, hey, let's meet at it's kind of like the Cardinals, the Sam Musial statue. You're like, hey, let's meet at the Molly Malone statue,
Good to know.
Good to know.
All right,
Is there
folks.
anything we didn't cover St. Patty's Day?
I don't know. If there is, then let us know. Throw it in our comments on either Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Prime. We'll load this up to X. You can comment there. We'll have it on our Facebook, which we do now have a new professional Facebook page. We're almost at the 200 mark, Rich. We're almost at the 200 mark.
Ooh.
So I need a pair of your
Hey,
old
if you
shoes
get a chance,
because we broke the 100.
I got some old shoes to give out, like we said before. If you get a chance, tell us your favorite Irish stories. Your favorite St. Patrick's Day stories. Like I said, there was a lot of this for me on a lot of St. Patrick's Days. So, like, I can't remember all of them, but I have some good ones. But tell us yours, and let us know what you love about St. Patrick's Day. I think everybody. One of my reasons why I always wanted to open an Irish bar, Doug, is because I think everybody feels like they have a little bit of Irish in them. You know what I'm saying? Except, let me tell you this, Doug. We're buying a house in Slovenia. I know we've mentioned that on a few different podcasts. And Steph sent me a T-shirt because she's Slovenian, Italian, Croatian that says everyone is a wee bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day, except for Slovenians. We're still Slovenian.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it.
No,
Might be a little bright or something. But everybody likes to be everybody likes to be Irish, on that day of the year. So go be Irish. Have a great, great, happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't say Paddy. It's Paddy, Paddy. And Slainte.
Slainte. We'll talk to you all later.